Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome to the finale of my Let's Play, with my laser, of Metroid Zero Mission. In this episode, we are going to be beating the game, as the term finale would suggest. So, what I'm going to be doing is cleaning up the last item and then beating the game, and that's going to be it. It's probably not going to end up being that long. We'll see. So it could be one of the shortest, finales I've ever had. So what I'm doing here is I'm breaking those blocks, because that is the thing that needs to be done. And then I'm gonna build up a Shine Spark charge. I'm gonna fall down and Shine Spark through. There's a gate right there, right here. If you trip these lasers, that goes off. You don't get the energy tank. This one can actually be quite a pain to get. So I'm glad that I got it on the first try. No problems there. And now we will go into this room, which is where the final boss of the game is located. We actually got a hint as to what this boss was back right when we entered the ship. So this is Mecha Ridley. One really interesting thing about this fight is that if you have 100%, his health is actually, I think, like 3 times as much. So it's actually going to be, Whoops. Would it help if I could actually hit? Wow. This is going well. Now, luckily, if you have 100%, you're gonna have a lot of health to play around with here, but usually I can kill it faster than this. Now, come on. There we go. That was slightly embarrassing. So, I like this fight. I'm glad that they added in something, because after Mother Brain, there wasn't much else that this fight could be. So glad that they actually had a final boss. I do like how they actually made it more difficult if you get all of the items. Nice little quirk. And of course, wouldn't be a Metroid game without an escape sequence. Yeah, this one technically has 2. This is the real escape sequence of the game, though. The first one, obviously, they kind of recreated the one from the original game. In that game, though, climbing the shaft is all you have to do to escape. So once you get on the elevator, that's the end of it. But in this one, they actually made you go back to your ship, which is a little bit extra. But this is much more of a proper escape than that one is, in terms of... There's actually a much, I don't want to call it a stricter timer, because you actually have more time, but it's definitely longer. That much is for sure. Also, fun fact, since you're technically in alarm mode or whatever, since the pirates have seen you, every single time there will be a space pirate that spawns in at the door, and they will get locked in the door because the door's locked behind you, and they don't want you going back in the escape sequence. So that's always funny. You can actually kill every single one of those pirates if you really want to. Just a little quirk that they didn't really think about programming. So there are going to be those 2 black pirates from before in this room. Easy way to kill them is just to bait them into climbing the wall. They won't actually climb up into this area here, so they'll just stay at the top there and try to shoot at you and fail. So it's a really easy way of taking those guys out. And yeah, we finished the game in less than 5 minutes of starting the episode. But I kind of knew that was going to happen, though. Also, that pirate is kind of funny. It's scripted to do all that stuff and jump into your escape pod. But there she blows. So That's the end of the Space Pirate Mothership. Obviously not the end of the Space Pirates because they come back in later games, but for now, our mission has been accomplished. And here we are at the credits. This is another great track, by the way. Just gonna point that out at the beginning. So, I was kind of expecting this to be about 6 parts or so. So this is technically the 6th part. It's not really going to be a full-length part, but, you know, it was either do it as a separate part here or cram it into the end of the last one, and I'd rather do it this way. So, as always, I will say that this Let's Play went by really fast. I recorded this all in one sitting, in case you couldn't tell. But I really like this game. It was a really great remake in terms of adding a lot of things that were sorely missing from the original game, you know, like a map. And it's also just really fun to play. The controls are really responsive. They're really snappy, is the way that I like to describe them. And the developers really they put a lot of thought into adding sequence breaks and you know, kind of intentional workarounds or things that allow you to skip certain items. And that, for me, is what really makes this game have a lot of replay value in terms of, you know, being a fun game to kind of speed run or just kind of play around with and see, like, okay, what if I, you know, got this item first this time instead of doing it in the intended order or whatever. So yeah, this is you know, kind of a shining example of what you should do with remakes, because, you know, it's great music. You know, they updated the graphics, they added a map, and we're actually at the end of the credits here. They're not super long credits, but definitely one of my favorite Metroid games, and one that, you know, I go back and play on a fairly regular basis. Oh, you can see a little drawing that Samus made. Isn't it cute? Of course, the part that you've all been waiting for, the ending. You know, the post-ending ending. So for getting the best time on this part, she'll be, you know, in her complete Zero Suit there. If you get a bad time, it's she just stays in the power suit there, and then if you get kind of an intermediate time, she'll take off the helmet, but not the entire suit. So I ended up getting a 1:23:53 for the in-game there, which is not too bad. My test runs kind of varied a little bit in terms of, I think one of them was like a 1:26. The very first run where I was doing the routing was like a 1:50. I did have a really good one, which is actually that save file right there, which ended up being like a 1:16:09 or something like that. But all in all, you know, pretty solid run. So you do unlock some things for beating the game. One of them is the gallery here, and there are a total of 8 different pictures that you can get based on different like requirements in terms of beating the game within a certain amount of time and with a certain percentage. So obviously I went for the 100% ending, and I believe this is the best ending for getting 100% as far as unlocking this image. So I will show the rest of those. Probably I'll edit them in post after I'm done with all my explanation here. So I'll show those off, and in some way, shape, or form, I will tell you how you actually unlock the specific gallery images, like what their requirements are. Sound option. This is for whether or not you're using headphones or using the GBA speakers. And I think all it does is basically just lower the audio a little bit. So So this Metroid Fusion link right here, if you had a GBA link cable, you could link up to Metroid Fusion, and I believe it got you a bonus gallery. There might be a way to do that with emulators. You know, I'm sure we could probably... That's probably been figured out. But for beating game, you also unlock the original Metroid on the GBA cartridge, so you can, you know, can play through the original game and realize how much better the remake is. So let's see, I believe it's that and then a bunch of hyphens. Yep, there we go. So this is fun to play around with. I'm obviously not going to do like a full playthrough of this by any means, but it is there for you if you want to play it. So I believe that covers most of the stuff in the game. You know, there's a lot of replay value in getting the different endings, as well as you can play on different difficulties too. So there's easy and there's hard as well that you can play on. And I believe, I forget exactly how you unlock this. If it's like beating the game on a hard or something to that effect, but there's also a time attack mode. And that, the difficulty is set to normal on the time attack mode. And it actually has a timer for you that keeps track, like it keeps track of your best record essentially. So the game will actually kind of tell you what your personal best is. So that's a really cool feature. I'm not going to be able to show it off here because, you know, I don't have it unlocked, but it is pretty nifty. So I think that about covers it. Let's see, I believe it's L, R, and there we go. Yeah, L and R, and you can, there we go, reset it. So there is a little bit of a menu here. I'm just kind of showing off a few of the passwords in the original game. I don't want that. Also, funny story about this particular password that I'm using right here. This is the NAR password. I actually thought when I was a kid that this was NARPass Sordo because of the way that they divide the inputs. For some weird reason, it didn't occur to me that, you know, the division was actually somewhere else. But yeah, I thought that for quite a few years. So what you get with this password, just in the original Metroid, is you can see I don't have missiles, but I can fire missiles. I actually have unlimited missiles. I believe the way that it's coded is that it essentially just, whenever your missiles go down to 0, it essentially underflows and goes back to 255. Something to that effect. I also have the ice beam, screw attack, and I'm going to actually have to take damage for this, but you can see I'm technically invincible. I can take damage, but my health will only go between 30 and 39. So if you really want to just, you know, have fun with this game and not worry about dying ever, use the NAR password. But I think that will about to do it. Oh, hey, if you, here. Ow, I killed the enemy. Well, it's not important, but I think that will about do it for, my Let's Play. So I'm just gonna, you know, go up into the ceiling here. This is a glitch, by the way, in case you have no idea what's going on here. So I have no idea where I am. You can essentially go through different parts of the map here, since the entire map is on the same field here. Oh, crap. I got stuck. That can happen. Alright, I can't think of a better way to leave it than this. So, thank you very much for watching my Let's Play of Metroid Zero Mission. I've been redxparasite, signing out.